people who are watching this are going to say, well, we have X-ray technology now, and we have MRI imaging, all sorts of things that can, if you're going through, let's say, an airport security line, they're immediately going to pick this up and say, well, what is this, right? But if these items date back to the 20s and 30s and 40s, then this would be, who would have thought that a lockpicking kit would be in a pen?
Even today, I would never send that through an international airport. It would be waiting for you where you were going so you could use it.
Aha.
And you could still use it, but you wouldn't carry it through those kinds of security situations. It would be asking for huge trouble.
That is oftentimes why when 007 arrives at the mission location, that's where Q is there. Q is there, or he finds his stuff waiting for him.
Q is there.
Yeah.
Q has prepared all the equipment, and Q is there, and he's just hoping that James is going to be able to use it the way we taught him.
And return it undamaged. That's always the
and and return it, period.
Is this an ashtray?
There's a motto in this museum that nothing is what it seems to be. And this is, these are all exhibits of exactly that. This was known back in the day as a spy camera. We have another very small camera. This camera is called a Dokoupil, and this was a camera that I did a lot of work with, issuing it and developing the film. It's a camera in a pen. It's an ink pen, and the ink pen actually would write. I always say, you could be standing at Putin's desk with your pen in your hand, and he gets called away for a minute, and you could take 100 pictures with the camera.
Wow.
To develop it, your heart would almost stop because you knew the people that had taken the pictures had taken huge risks. This was one of the best tools we had during the Cold War. The iPhone kind of put a lot of this stuff out of business, but the idea that a pen could contain anything other than ink was unthinkable. We only put two things in pens. One was the Dokoupil camera. The other one was what we called an L-pill, that some of our people wanted to be able to take their own life if they were caught, rather than whatever the consequences were going to be in the country that they were working in. And we'd mill out the inside of the cap of the camera, so all they had to do was just bite down on it.
Wow.
And one did. He's kind of in our hearts. It was a very important operation. This is a microdot camera, and I hesitate to handle it. It's old enough that it's a little bit fragile.
What is microdot?
A microdot is a photographic image that is a page of text, 8.5 by 11, reduced 400 times, down to a dot that is so small that we used to conceal them in the pages of a magazine, and we'd paste it on top of a period at the end of a sentence. And when you sent it through the mail, only the person who received it would know which page, which paragraph, which sentence. And they'd tear out that little piece. And then they would have a tiny lens that we had given them. It looked a lot like a grain of rice. And you could read a page of text. This is a bra. This is Stasi. This is from the Stasi collection, I think, the East German.
East Germans, right.
The fact is, you take a very small camera, and this is not a particularly unique camera. There were many small cameras like this, and you need a place to put them. A bra was one place because you could attach it to something. It's not going to fall. And
but again, how old is this camera? Looks, I mean, in a world now where cameras are really small, this thing's pretty big. Where does this
it's
go?
pretty big, but it's small enough.
Right. Okay. That's
to do the job that we're talking about.
This one, it seems a little bit Austin Power-ish.
This may have come out of an Austin Powers movie. Who knows? Because our officers would call us and say, I just saw the most amazing thing on TV. Can we do that? Sometimes we would fiddle with it and see if it was useful.
So this shoe.
Now, guess what this is?
Don't tell me it's a Maxwell Smart patented, shoe phone.
It's not a phone.
Okay.
It's a transmitter.
Oh, okay.
This would be put in very possibly by the opposition. This takes me to the time in Europe where men would put their shoes outside the door. And they would shine your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
There was someone, that was their job, to shine the shoes. But they would also do other things to your shoes. And once they put your heel back on properly, you would walk around all day and they would track you. They'd know exactly where you'd been. It's just a visual of that capability, which is kind of remarkable. This last part comes out of our disguise labs, the crazy things that we would do to change the way you look. And sometimes you would do a couple of dental facades, maybe a wig, maybe a pair of glasses. maybe not a wig, maybe glasses and a mustache. You just fiddle with the person when they came in. Like I said when I met you, I could have so much fun disguising you.
Really?
Yes, you are a
Like a cipher, like, you know,
you're a blank slate.
Yeah, blank slate.